specifically, I just want to do a quick video again to reiterate where blindside is and how that goes about changing and how we understand it, because it can be a confusing point when we first start traditional Wing Chun. So, looking at our front stance position, what's important, I guess, isn't my hand. So there's lots of different martial arts, or in fact people that aren't trained, but still physically people will prop with one leg in front in order to generate force to try and hit you and hurt you. That's what we do as humans. Okay, so guard or not, it's not really that relevant what's going on with the hands, and I think that's important to understand from the beginning. Okay, so my blind side, and people get often confused with this, they think they're doing blind side, they're not. It's actually perpendicular to my shoulder line, so it's out here at 90 degrees. True blind side's out here. Okay, so this 45-degree angle, okay, I've got over this side, this is moving toward the blind side, and this is a good position, don't get me wrong. And then we've got on the open side, which is on the inside here. The danger or the problem with open side is that all these weapons from your opponent are facing in toward you, whereas on the outside, you've only got to deal with one limb at a time, so it makes it much easier. Okay, so if I switch my feet from here, obviously then the blind side is going to be outside this leg. Okay, so when we look at traditional Wing Chun controlling the elbow, this is a really important point, because by controlling the elbow, I control the balance. And therefore, if I've got that, my opponent can't switch their feet freely because they're off balance, okay? If they go to move a leg, they're stumbling. So if we're doing that elbow control correctly, that's what should be going on. Sometimes you see some elbow checking, there's not really much going on, I'm touching it, but I don't really have the control of their balance, and that's important to note, that we need to achieve that control of that balance. Alright, so lots of things control what this foot configuration might be. And again, understanding human movement is part of Wing Chun, so you don't get caught with silly little tricks and tips that martial artists and people that try to hit you try and use. Okay, so stepping up is, I guess, kind of a telltale that I'm going to use this lead side. Okay, this is why we don't step this way, we're stepping with that front foot, it's not a telegraph movement. Okay, so if I'm half stepping, the blind side's not changing. If I'm doing a full step through, and please see the footwork if you're unfamiliar with the terms I'm using, okay, when I do a full step, that does change. Okay, so this is where kicking can confuse people, because if you're doing a kick and you're following through, then the side is going to change. For example, from a front stance here, and I do a front kick, okay, and I land forward, my blind side's now switched to this side. Just to reiterate that again, my blind side's over here. Okay, regardless of what my hands are doing, that's not important. But when this kick comes through, if that leg goes forward, then my blind side has now switched to this side. Alternatively, if I kick and I step back, it hasn't changed. The blind side is still on this side. Okay, again, that's a great position where we can get it. It's not always possible, so don't think that you're going to be there 100% of the time. We train you and we get you used to using that position because it's a #1 finished position. So we're not showing you the goodies at the end of the training, say, okay, this is the good stuff now, that's what we need you to know. We're giving you the best position, the best information at the beginning, so you can get better at it by training it over time, okay? This is not a game, this is not a trick, this is self-defense. We're not looking at pulling out some fancy move. We need to have good, strong basics to understand, so we can use these effectively in a real situation ultimately. So that's what we're looking at. So again, blind side this side, open side. If I full step through, that has now changed. Blind side here, full step on this side. So again, that is why elbow control and control of the balance in traditional Wing Chun is so important, so I can help get those positions and hold them longer. Thank you.